What's up, Twitch and YouTube? It's MurphyD55 coming to you with another episode of Around the Gjallarhorn. This is a special episode because we have Tennessee Titans halfback Darrynton Evans coming through, a.k.a. ItzLiveee. You guys probably know him from the NFL. You might also know him from Twitch and YouTube that he's going crazy on as a content creator. So first and foremost, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to sit down and do this interview, man. Really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, no problem, bro. It's a pleasure, man. I love the community.
Yeah.
I love everything that you do, man. I'm always here to support.
I appreciate that, and you're not just saying that too, because you really have become, in the months that you've been streaming on Twitch, you really have become a part of the community. You really took it upon yourself to get out there, check out small streamers, and become part of the fabric of what we're building here. I want to talk about like how has your early experience been on Twitch, getting to know a whole bunch of different streamers.
Yeah, I would say it's cool, bro. It's crazy because I actually watch Twitch like TV. So like when people see me come in the chat during the day, it's like, yo, you're in my chat. Like, no, bro, like you're entertaining me right now. Like
Yeah.
I don't watch TV, so this is kind of what takes over for that. But I definitely love doing it, man. Like I never knew that it would make a lot of people's day as much as it does, because I don't think of myself as Darrynton, the NFL player, or anything else like that. To me, I'm still just Darrynton from a small city who just so happens to have a job that's, I guess, popular, I guess you can say.
Yeah, no
But
kidding. Yeah.
yeah,
And
that's really it for me, bro.
and what small city did you come from? What were your origins? I think you're from Florida. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm from Florida, a small city of Oak Hill, maybe 1,200 people total.
Wow.
Bro, all we got is a Blinken Light, Dollar General, a flea market, and one gas station. I think that's it.
Wow. So real small town vibes where everybody kind of knows everybody, I guess, in a town like that.
Bro, I'm
Um,
related to both sides of the city.
yeah. No kidding. And what was it like for you, like in athletics? Like, did you start in athletics? Were there a lot of opportunities in your town from a young age to get involved in football and maybe other sports as well?
In my town, no. So doing everything, we had to drive about 25 to 30 minutes to do all kind of sports and stuff. But luckily enough for me, like I was around a lot of relatives to where, it would be a lot of kids my age, or even like with my older brother's group. He's 7 years older. I played with a lot of older guys. So
Yeah.
when it came time to get into actually organized sports and things like that, you could probably say I was kind of ahead because I've been playing with people who's been 5 to 6 years older than me since I was 6 years old.
Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely helps.
Oh, absolutely. So going against guys that are physically maybe more far along than you, you'd feel like that gave you a competitive edge once you were able to get into. Did you play like Pop Warner football or anything down there? Was that something that was open to you?
Yeah, Pop Warner was fun, bro. First year broke the touchdown record.
Wild. That's great. Were you always a halfback? Like were you always a running back from the get go, or did you play like multiple positions, offense and defense?
I played offense and defense growing up. Even throughout high school. My last year of high school was kind of where we had got a new head coach, and he didn't like guys playing both ways. So essentially, really my junior year of high school, a lot of my college looks were for defensive back playing corner.
Yeah.
But he didn't like us playing both ways, and our defense was good enough, and we needed guys on offense, so I stuck to offense. And I'm glad I made that move, but at the same time, I wonder where I would be if I didn't make that move, because a
Yeah.
lot of the bigger schools, essentially, you can say, went away after I didn't have any defensive film my last year. But God put me there for a reason. I'm here where I'm at.
Yeah, absolutely. And so is that a thing like with the recruitment process when you're getting into your senior or well maybe junior senior year of high school? Are a lot of colleges looking for players that can play both ways and just athletic guys in general, and then trying to mold them into something?
Yeah, I would say a lot of times they want guys who are definitely multi position, but really multi sport. So if you play more than one sport, they can see that you can adapt to different things, and you got a lot of different traits that somebody who's only played one sport doesn't have.
Yeah.
It's crazy, bro. Like actually, when I signed in college, bro, I didn't sign as a running back. I signed as an athlete. They didn't know what
Wow.
position I was gonna play. I signed as an athlete.
Oh, that's interesting. I see. I had no idea how that process works because in Canada where I'm at, the idea of athletic scholarships and something is not really a common thing. There are some guys who have made it from the Canadian collegiate
Yeah.
system into the NFL, but it's a different path. When you were going through that recruitment process, did you have a whole lot of different scouts coming to like? Was it very noticeable? Like every game in the stands, like who the scouts are, they're in touch with you throughout the season, or was it more kind of? A couple
Yeah,
schools reaching
I
the
mean,
feelers.
yeah, no. So like it was kind of different. So with my high school, like we got a lot of guys. It's crazy. We got guys in the NFL, but we
Yeah,
probably push out maybe one guy a year to actually go D1.
yeah,
Compared to our rival high school, they'll push out like 6 to 10 guys every year.
yeah,
But it's just with us, we'd probably have. So I know when Raheem Mostert, running back for the 49ers, when he
yeah,
was there, a lot of scouts were going there for Raheem. Then once he
yeah,
left, we had a dude named James Clark was right under him. So it kind of just like the same coaches who came for Raheem would come for James. And then the same
yeah,
coaches who came for James came from my cousin Dakota. Same
yeah,
ones who came for Dakota came to my cousin Jalen. Then the ones from Jalen came down to me. And it's like they're coming for like one guy at a
yeah,
time versus all right, well, we've seen you, you know what I'm saying? We've seen you, we like you. Like, no,
yeah.
they've actually seen you before at practice when they were looking at somebody else.
Yeah, and that's kind of wild too because I've driven through the states. Like, what were the facilities like at your high school? Like, what was the? Did you guys have like a stadium, bleachers? Was it like a almost a professional type facility in Florida?
Nah,
No.
not at all. Honestly, bro, well, I would say if in Texas they got the best facilities for sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking Friday
Texas
Night
and
Lights in my
Georgia,
head. That's what I'm thinking. I'm envisioning.
yeah,
Yeah,
Texas and Georgia for sure. Where we're at, we had a brand new high school. Essentially, it got built fairly new compared to the old high school that they had. So everything at the school, yeah, but we didn't play at our school. We played at a sports complex that still had a track
yeah.
around the football field, and then just the bleachers that were just around it.
Wow, and so that's a big change, obviously, going to playing in Nashville in front of a ton of fans with a huge
Yeah.
capacity stadium, and we'll get to that part of the journey eventually. But so when you were getting recruited, so what made the choice of Appalachian State? Like, what kind of spoke to you about that particular school? What made it a good fit?
Yeah, I would say they kind of were the ones who were most consistent and stuck around like even after the change. So really App State, bro, they were one of the main schools that offered me. And even after I didn't play defense because they offered me for defense first,
Yeah,
they stuck around. It was like we'll just find somewhere for you to go. Like simple as that. We'll find somewhere for you to go, whether it's running back, receiver, defense at safety or at corner. So um yeah,
yeah,
they're the ones who stuck around most consistent. And I got this one story. Like I went to 3 camps. I went to North Carolina, I went to Duke, NC State, and Chapel Hill. And I
yeah,
went to camps and I killed it at all 3 camps. Coaches like, yeah, we really like you, but we're full. We
yeah,
really like you, but our recruiting class is full. So they couldn't essentially offer me, even though I was killing the guys that they already offered and
yeah,
was signed to them. But it was this one coach from App State that literally was like at every single camp, talking to me at every camp. Where you gonna be at tomorrow? I'm gonna be
yeah,
at Duke. All right, I'm gonna be there. Where you gonna be at after I left the Duke camp? Where you gonna be
yeah,
at? Oh, you gonna be at Chapel Hill? All right, I'm gonna be there. So he was literally at
yeah,
every single camp, just making sure he followed me around, and that kind of
yeah,
stuck with me. And then one of the coaches who was at another school, one of my top schools, South Florida,
yeah.
he ended up coaching at App State my senior year of high school. We went from South Florida and offered me there, and then he went to App
Yeah,
State. And it
that's
was just
incredible.
kind of like the perfect fit because I already knew him because he recruited a lot of my older cousins and stuff.
Yeah.
And then also he coached at my high school probably like 10 years before. So he knew the area really well and had a lot of relationships with
Oh, that's
a lot of my
awesome.
older family members and stuff.
Yeah, that's incredible. Like having that familiar face, like when you're, especially when you're like Appalachian State. Where is that located? Like what state is that in?
It's in North Carolina, but it's in the mountains, bro.
Yeah, it's just different from your hometown environment. Was it like a bit of a culture shock moving from Florida to the Mountaineers type territory?
Bro, it was crazy. And the thing is, like when I went on my official visit, that was my first time seeing snow. And
Wow.
it's funny because it was a lot of Florida guys on the visit. And it's
Yeah.
like we were just looking around like, bro, we really in the mountains. This is
Yeah.
real snow. Like this ain't fake. This is real snow. And it was cold as crap. But at the
Yeah.
same time, it was different, but it was kind of cool though. So it was. I think that's how they get a lot of us to go to app because it's completely opposite of what you want,
Yeah.
like what you're thinking
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like you can't get in trouble because there's nothing to do up there. You can't get in trouble. So it's
Yeah.
strictly football, school. If you get in trouble up
Yeah.
there, it's on you.
Yeah.
So I
Absolutely.
think that was definitely something that leads a lot of guys to go to app because you can focus on what you want to focus on and excel because the tradition is good. You're gonna have a good football team year in, year out, and they're actually pushing on a lot of guys in the NFL. Like we got a lot more guys in the NFL than a lot of actual Power 5 teams. Like I remember when I got drafted, bro, we had more guys drafted than Florida State and all these other, traditional programs. I'm like, dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of that, I was looking up your draft class. So 2020 would have been the year that you entered the NFL draft, and was it the same year that Akeem Davis Gaither entered the draft
Yeah,
too? Was also who's now going to play in the Super Bowl
yeah,
in a couple weekends. So how's your guys' relationship? Do you guys stay in touch at all, like throughout the season? I know you're probably super busy with your,
yeah.
making the Titans
We
connections.
we talk a lot. He actually came to the game when we played the Bengals. He came to the game. We went out, ate dinner and little stuff up here before. But yeah, that's my guy, man. We talk just about every day. Shoot, I hope they win it. I hope they
Yeah,
win it. That's what I told him. Like before the game, I said, "Look, I hope we beat y'all." And like right after the game, I said, "Hey, I hope y'all win it." Like simple
yeah,
as that. Like we can't do it. I want one of my guys from App State to win something. So
yeah.
that's what means the most to me right now.
Absolutely, and do you feel like so out of your program, I guess the years that you were there, I was looking up some of your accolades here. Offensive Player of the Year you got in your first year as a starter there. So how was your that was in your junior season? Is that correct? Or
Kind of,
like
sort of. So I played my true freshman year,
yeah,
and then I got hurt my second year, and I missed that year. Then I redshirted. So
yeah,
my years are kind of different. Typically, guys redshirt first, and then
yeah,
play. Me, I played first, and then I had the redshirt.
yeah, yeah, and that's to keep your years of eligibility kind of thing intact. Is that what the red
Yeah,
shirt is? Yeah, and so speaking, I guess so you've dealt with serious injuries in the past, and you're familiar with the rehabbing process, and then
yeah,
this year as well, kind of going through that. We can get into that maybe. I'm trying to go chronologically here from high school
yeah.
up through college, but what were some of your favorite memories when you were at App State? Like, what was the atmosphere like on game day there?
Man, it was crazy. It's wild because the tradition up there, like they treat football like a religion, kind of, sort of. You can say like they
Yeah,
take it serious. Like the fans, the alumni, past players who played there, like they take it serious. Like it's no joke to where if you commit the app, you got to be ready to play, and if you're not gonna be ready to play, then it's like, what are you here for?
yeah,
So it's like the expectation every year is to go undefeated for one. What Cincinnati did this year is great to where, you had a group of 5 team go to the college football playoffs. So
yeah,
before the college football playoffs, our goal was always go to the New Year's Six Bowl. That's what we try to do every year. Go
yeah,
to a New Year's Six Bowl. But then now they got the college football playoffs. You kind of want to get into there, be that UCF, that Memphis, that Cincinnati. Like you want to be
yeah,
that team. And it's like when I was there, we were like one game off every time of being that team. We were
yeah.
one game off every time. So it's like if you don't go undefeated during the season, dang, that was our shot right there.
Yeah, and that's tough too because there's limited time in college. You're only going to spend so many years there, and for you,
Yep.
getting the opportunity to go to the NFL too, which obviously, was that a tough decision for you to opt out of your senior year, or were you kind of feeling like you had to build on that momentum, take advantage of what you'd built?
Definitely build off the momentum, but then at the same time, it's like I ain't got nothing else to prove. Like I got,
Yeah,
I ran for 1,500 yards. I broke the conference record. That would have been my third coaching change, and it's not like
yeah,
our coaches were changing because we were losing and they were getting fired. Our coaches were changing because we were doing good and they
yeah,
were getting better jobs. So it's
yeah,
like, I don't really want to deal with another coaching change at this moment. And then, come back and you risk injury. It's a whole bunch of different variables that you don't have control over. And then,
yeah,
like thinking about it now, that was probably the best thing I've ever done because then you'd have the COVID year, and
yeah.
then after the COVID year, they were like, "Well, you can stay another year." Like,
Yeah, yeah, and,
kind of
and you're
perfect
getting older
timing.
each year too. You want to take advantage of those young legs and whatnot. And take me to so after that year where you kind of won Offensive Player of the Year and you were had a great amount of tape and probably NFL teams. Like was there a scouting process when you're in college as well, like similar to what you went through in high school, or is it more kind of behind the scenes
Yeah,
work?
I mean, kind of sort of. So a lot of scouts would come for the seniors. Really, they can't come
Yeah,
for younger guys, but they would still see you
yeah,
on like during games and practices and stuff through the older guys. So like I know with me, they came for the running back that was in front of me.
yeah,
Really, the two running backs in front of me. So when I first got there, all time leading rusher was still there.
yeah,
And then we had another guy, Jalen Moore. He was player of the year before me.
yeah,
And then like the year you were talking about where I began starting, honestly, I didn't start until halfway through the season, bro, and I still was the leading rusher because he ended up getting
yeah,
hurt
yeah,
halfway through the season, and then I had to take over from there. So
yeah.
um Yeah, I remember a lot of the scouts when I ended up entering for the draft, they were like, "Yeah, we remember seeing you from Jalen or Marcus, watching Jalen and Marcus, and then we
Yeah.
saw you." So they weren't really able to talk to me because I was a
Yeah.
younger guy, but once I officially declared and stuff, then they could reach out and hold conversations.
Yeah, and that seed has been planted at that point. It's kind of like you're advertising for yourself with your play on the field down there.
Yeah.
And so going into declaring for the NFL draft, how did you prepare for draft day? Were you at the event? Were you, or was it with COVID? Was there even a live event that year? I'm trying to think.
Yeah, we had the weird funny year where we didn't even have a live event. I guess you could say
Yeah,
all of our stuff was digital. They asked to do like some stuff like in home, bring
yeah,
cameras to your house and stuff. I'm like, I don't feel like doing all that because for one,
yeah,
my family's old school. They don't know how to hook up all this stuff, and
yeah,
we got a lot of traffic in the house. I'm like,
yeah,
they offered to do that, but at the same time, I didn't know whether I was getting drafted or not because
yeah,
I ended up going third round. I got player of the year in my
yeah,
conference, but by me going to a group of five school and not being a power five school, even though my numbers were better than a lot of guys, it's
yeah,
not treated the same
yeah,
to where you can be player of the year, but you can still go undrafted. So I didn't even want to risk any of that because it's
yeah,
too much
yeah.
uncertainty with everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And how does it work when you actually get the call? Like, do you know leading up? Like, are different teams making calls, or is it you're finding out when we find out, kind of thing?
We find out when y'all find out. So it's like essentially you got teams you talked to before that need your position,
Yeah,
but at the same time you don't know if they want you because there's other guys on the board. So with me, I was just like, as many running backs go off this board before me, that mean the closer my name would be to getting called.
yeah,
I think I was like the ninth or 10th back picked,
yeah,
and I still went third round. So I'm like, all right, we I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire went first round, and second round they started getting back after back after
yeah,
back. I'm like, let's go.
yeah.
Like my number's getting called soon.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
essentially, what they'll do is like, say you got the 15th pick, right? And you
Yeah,
want me at the 15th pick. You'll probably call me at like the 13th pick
yeah,
and let me know ahead of time so they can call it back into, the commissioner and get everything settled. And
yeah,
so maybe like a pick or two before, and
yeah.
then that's when everything just through the roof, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm honestly just thinking about that experience. Like, my heart's kind of pounding thinking about it. Like, leading up as you're
Yeah.
watching the draft, are you sweating? Are you like on edge during this whole process as you're watching the names and the picks kind of tick down?
Yeah, most definitely. I would say the main thing for me was just like not necessarily, would your name get called or when your name's gonna get called, which is a major concern. But at the end of the day, you just want to be on a team on that
Yeah,
day. You just want to get picked up by a team. I
yeah,
would say my main concern the whole time was just not knowing where I'm gonna be. Like I'm from Florida. I went to
yeah,
school in North Carolina. Shoot, you can end up in
yeah.
Seattle.
You could be in
You can
Green
end up
Bay.
in, yeah,
Yeah,
Green Bay, Buffalo, Dallas. Like just location wise, you don't know
yeah,
where you're gonna be. Like that's the uncertainty. That's the hardest part. It's like, dang, what city am I gonna be in? It's not
yeah,
necessarily, oh, I want to play for this team or I don't want to play for this team. It's like, no, I want to play for whoever wants me. I want to play for them.
yeah,
But at the same time, I want to know where I'm gonna be so I can, what I'm saying,
yeah.
kind of
You gotta mentally prepare
prepare.
for that. Yeah,
Yeah, mentally
100%.
prepare.
And so after you get picked in the third round by the Titans, how long? Like, is there any? Does it get busy after that? Like, how soon are you going to the team facility? Like right after that happens?
Typically, you'd go right in, but that year we didn't.
Yeah,
But typically you go right in. Um, but for us, we didn't go in until camp. We couldn't go in until camp. Really, camp got pushed back a little bit for us. We didn't have no preseason. We didn't have no nothing. So we're
yeah,
we're we're kind of like the guinea pigs for COVID.
yeah. I was gonna
Um,
say, yeah,
and it's bad, but at the same time, it's good. Like we were able to adjust and have a full season. But it definitely would have been nice to have a full experience of an off season, being around guys, learning the playbook to where you're not getting to camp and just learning things,
yeah,
or hearing things for the first time or seeing things for the first time. You'd actually know what you're doing, know what to expect, and be able just to compete. We were still learning in camp versus, this past class, they were able to come in during the off season, look at the playbook, meet with the coaches to where the coaches can go over different things and walk it, do like walkthroughs on the field, whatever you
yeah,
need to do in OTAs. And we didn't get that. So it was tough. And then, you had to find places to work out with a lot of gyms and facilities being closed. You had to literally
yeah,
like try and just make up your own stuff at home, essentially in your own garage, your
yeah,
backyard. I know me, I was running in like in the street, like in front
Yeah.
of my house. I was just running in the street because I'm like, I have nowhere else to go. So
Yeah.
it was definitely tough, but at the same time, I feel like that right there will be why, in the end, when things kind of start turning and clicking,
Yeah.
it's gonna feel real good once it does. Because a lot of people
Yeah.
they don't know what you're going through or what you've been through to get to where you at. They just see, oh, you're on this team. Like, yeah, you got it. Nah, you ain't got it made, bro. We all out here working.
Yeah,
We all out here working.
absolutely. And that's a lot of it builds a lot of resilience and a lot of toughness and a lot of adversity that a lot of people, that the average citizen who's not, a widely recognized NFL athlete, we assume that life is just easy for you guys, that there's, that it's a cakewalk, but really that's not the case, especially with the COVID year. Um,
Yeah, nah,
yeah,
nah.
a lot of adversity there. Who would you like? Do you have guys when you're training, like when you're preparing yourself? Are you training with high school teammates, like former high school teammates? Are you training with App State guys, or just your cousins? I know you've got a lot of cousins that are athletes as well.
Yeah.
Like, who's your group that you kind of,
You're talking as of now or before the
or I
draft?
guess before the draft, like when you had to kind of patch it together yourself? Who did you go
Yeah.
to?
So before the draft, I was training with my cousin Dakota Dixon. He was with the Bucks.
Yeah,
Um, and I was at Bomberitos where I trained at pre-draft. But last offseason I went back to Bomberitos, and typically when I'm down there, I train with guys like Frank Gore, LaShawn McCoy.
yeah,
They got a bunch of big names who come through there. Tyreek Hill, he trains down there. Like all those
yeah.
guys, I'm typically down there with those guys training.
That's incredible. And how important is it for you to surround yourself with elite athletes or guys that you can pick stuff up from? Like, are you picking up like from even guys on other teams that you're working with? Or do you guys kind of
Yeah.
share, like, talk shop a bit when you're down there?
Yeah, bro, that's probably the best part, just being able to talk football. Because it's like, when you're on your own or with people you're around a lot, y'all kind of have the same knowledge of the game or same understanding. But when you get around other people who know it a different way, you can kind of add what they know to you and vice versa.
Yeah,
Really just learning more about the game. Because honestly, I thought leaving high school, I knew a lot about football. Then I got to
yeah,
college, I was like, bro, I knew nothing.
yeah,
And then you go to college for 3 or 4 years, and you think, well, shoot, I can't learn no more than this. And then you
yeah,
get to the NFL, and you're like, bro, I knew nothing.
yeah.
So
It's you're
it
in
just
the top 1% of the top 1% now. Like, it's
it,
elite. Yeah,
it just keeps building off itself, man. It keeps building off itself, and it's guys that are, what I'm saying, on our team, guys at the facilities I train at, and they've been in the league 10, 11 years, and bro, I'm still learning. I'm
yeah,
like, at year 10, 11, you still learning? Yeah, still learning. So it's like forever learning experience right here
yeah.
for us.
Well, it's incredible. Like, the time that it takes to become a master of anything, it takes hours and hours and years and to really fine tune your craft. And you're still at the beginning of your career, so you got a lot. I'm sure you'll be, if we check in 5 years from now, you'll have learned a whole boatload more stuff than you already know now.
For
Um,
sure.
now getting to, your first season. So what was your, first season in the league, like the experiences? Did you have like a welcome to the NFL type moment where you realized, oh
Mm,
man, this is different? Yeah,
not really.
not yet.
See, my first season was kind of tough too, bro.
Yeah,
Camp was great. I had an amazing camp.
yeah.
Then literally a week before game started, I pulled my hamstring.
Man,
Um, workload was the workload. It is what it is. You're a rookie.
yeah,
But then I came back kind of too early, pulled it again.
yeah,
So I came back first game. I think it was like week 3 versus the Vikings.
yeah,
Came back that game, played another game, and then like the third game after that, I re-pulled it. I was
yeah,
like, dang, bro, like if I wouldn't have came back too quick, I'd be straight right
yeah,
now. But whatever was gonna happen was gonna happen.
yeah,
But I ended up coming back midway through the season, finished the season out strong. But welcome to the NFL moment? Nah, not really, bro. Because it's like at the end of the day, like it's football. Like
yeah,
I've been doing this since I was 6.
yeah,
Like, yeah, things pick up. Things are definitely faster. People are definitely bigger. People are
yeah,
definitely stronger. But I feel like, what I'm saying, as long as you stand on what you know, and as long as you're prepared,
yeah,
it's not that bad, bro. It's
yeah.
not.
No,
Like, honestly, playing games are fun. I think practice is hard. Playing
yeah,
games are fun.
yeah,
Practice tough.
yeah. Practice. They beat you into the ground. They build that kind
Yeah.
of stamina up and give you the work so that you're ready to perform on game day. And it's dealing with I know dealing with injury this past season. How tough was that? Like, because I know you're probably feeling like you got something that you want to prove out there on the field. You, like you said, you want to be out there for the fun part, for the game day.
Yeah.
How was that, like, mentally to go through a serious injury where you had to miss significant amount of time.
Yeah, bro, it was tough. It was definitely tough because it's like you only played half of last year, like the back end,
Yeah,
and then the thing is you can see like every game you're going up, you're getting better and better,
yeah,
and then you go through a whole off season, you're putting up numbers, doing what you need to do, showing you can what I'm saying you can play, and then we get to the preseason, first drive, you come out there, first play of the game,
yeah,
boom, everybody's like, yo, who is this dude?
yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm like, shoot, this is a healthy me. Like this
yeah,
is this is what it is. And then, it's like one play, bro. One
yeah,
play, my knee starts giving out, and then I'm like, dang, bro. Like we're
yeah,
we're so close to the season, man. Just so
yeah,
close to the season. And then like that's all I remember. I kept telling my coach, I'm like, man, just one play.
yeah,
Like it was one play, and then like everything I did in the whole off season was just like for nothing.
yeah.
Essentially what it felt
That's
like.
Yeah, it's got to be heartbreaking. And with the rehab process, like, are you? So I know you said you weren't traveling with the team necessarily. Like, was that difficult? Like to have your guys that are out there grinding with you and to not be able to kind of be there, game to game with those guys.
Yeah.
Like,
I,
what's the
I would say
routine?
that was definitely the hardest part because it's like you're a part of the team, but you
Mm,
feel like you're not a part of the team at the same time,
yeah,
because it's like you'll have people, people on social media, they do what they do, and they
yeah,
don't understand. But then you'll have like some immature people that were like, at least you don't got to be at practice, or like, bro, I'd
yeah,
rather be at practice than
yeah,
watching practice. Like that's 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I could be getting better versus just watching and everybody else getting better while I'm over here trying to get back to the
yeah,
field.
yeah,
But man, I would say that was definitely the toughest part, just not contributing. Like
yeah,
especially when you can,
yeah,
and you can help a team, and what I'm saying, this was our year, bro. Everybody wanted it was like Super Bowl or bust.
yeah,
For a lot of teams in the league for real.
yeah,
But with the guys we had on paper, you look at it, you're like, man, this is a good group of guys. And I'm like, I feel like, personally, I tell myself all the time, like, I know I can make plays to help us, what I'm saying,
yeah,
get past whatever we need to do. I know I can help. I know I can, what I'm saying, change the game. And it's like, dang, not having that opportunity,
yeah,
but at the same time knowing you can do it. But then other people be like, well, we haven't seen it, so we need to, what I'm saying, he's
yeah,
not the guy, he's
yeah,
whatever. Like that's
yeah.
that's definitely the toughest part, just not being able to contribute for real.
Well, for sure, and you've got a huge presence, on social media, not just through Twitch, but like your Twitter account, your Instagram, TikTok, all of it's huge. So you're probably getting a whole bunch of these, immature people coming in, and
And
how much do you kind of like? Are you able to tune it out at this point, or is it something you still see it? Because you're very savvy with all the social media
yeah,
stuff.
I mean, I see it, but I pick and choose what I reply to, bro. Like,
Yeah,
at the end of the day, everybody gonna have something to say.
yeah,
um but I try and use it as like a learning experience for people. Like sometimes they'll do some over the board stuff, and I have to check some people like, hey, bro, like
yeah,
watch what you're saying. Like you being mad disrespectful for no
yeah,
reason. But you just gotta understand, a lot of the people on there, bro, they say stuff because they know that they're on a phone and they'll
yeah,
never see me.
yeah,
um and I say that, like, even when they talk about other players, I'm like, bro, you're only saying this because you'll never see this guy. You'll never say that face to face to this person. Like
oh,
if you had the, what I'm
absolutely,
saying, the audacity to do that, then go ahead. But you don't.
yeah,
Um, but then at the same time, bro, like you never know what somebody going through. So why would you even push that extra button?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying, for no reason.
Yeah, for sure. And face to face, these guys would probably be asking for a selfie, but online they might be.
Yeah,
It might be a little different story. But that's a very kind of mature thing, and you'll find, and I'm sure you find through Twitch too. Although you got a good community over there that seems very supportive, but the trolls out there, those are the ones, like you
yeah,
said, they're going through something. Like it's hard to be able to have empathy and a little bit of compassion for the people that are typing the worst stuff on the internet. That's a very mature take on it for sure.
yeah.
And when you're doing this rehab and you're going through this, like how much of it is left up to you to kind of rehab yourself, or like are you in daily, weekly contact with like team trainers and stuff like that still? Are you still going into the facility?
Yeah, bro. I do rehab 6 days a week.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
even when I'm not hurt, like,
Yeah.
or what I'm saying, you're just getting things maintenance or whatever, I go
Yeah.
six
Yeah.
days a week. But
Yeah.
the thing is, it's like, a lot of people don't see that because you don't post it. So when you don't
Yeah.
post it, they think you're not doing it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that's the thing about today's world. Everything has to be posted, but I'm
Yeah,
not that kind of person to where I don't feel
yeah,
like doing it. Like
yeah,
I don't feel like putting on a show for somebody else. If they think I'm not doing something, I don't care. You can think
yeah,
what you want to think. I know what I'm doing.
exactly.
And that'll be where a lot of trolls come in. Yo, get off the game. You need to be doing like shut up.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah,
don't. I was up at 6 this morning while you were still asleep, and I'm halfway done with what I'm doing at 7:30, 8 o'clock. Like
yeah,
my day started way ahead of yours. So
yeah,
don't
absolutely.
tell me what I should and shouldn't be doing, especially when you haven't done what I've done.
Yeah,
You know
you
what I'm
won't
saying?
be outworked by anybody. Like, and it's that's a funny point. Like, I kind of pick up that about you, that you're not really a person who does stuff for show. Like, obviously, you're an entertainer now in this Twitch and YouTube world, and we'll get into that, in a little bit. But like, even when you said that you didn't want to necessarily have cameras in your house and whatnot, a lot of people, they kind of relish that opportunity to be on TV, to be like, but for you, you come across a really humble individual. One thing that really stood out to me when I first reached out to you about possibly doing the podcast, you were talking about, oh yeah, I got work on this day. Work for you. You're an NFL player. Like, most people think, we don't think about it as necessarily a job. We think about it as
Yeah.
somebody we idolize or somebody we look up to who's a personality. But do you kind of approach your NFL career that it is a job? Like, it's something you got to put
Oh,
in the
you
hours.
got to. You got to, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you
It's
got to. And that's the thing I tell people all the time. Like they look at it as if it's something you do for fun. They think you make X amount of dollars when in reality you don't. It's only a
yeah,
select few of guys making the amount of
yeah,
money people think.
yeah,
But it's our job is definitely a job. You have to treat it like work because if you don't, there's no job security like a regular 9 to 5 job. With our
yeah,
job, you can do everything right and still get fired.
yeah.
You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? Like there may be a defensive lineman gets hurt and we got to pick up a defensive lineman. So they
Yeah,
may fire somebody on the offense to make up space for somebody on the defense.
yeah,
So it's like people don't understand that to where it's not like a regular job to where you do everything right and essentially you're good. You can get a promotion. We don't get promotions.
no, that's
You know what
that's
I'm saying?
right.
You gotta do what you gotta do regardless and to
Yeah,
keep your job, not necessarily to get a promotion. You can't slack off. There's no, you know what I'm saying? Well, I don't feel like going in today. There's no I don't feel good today. There's no
yeah,
I got a lot of stuff going on at home. I can't go in. Like you
yeah,
gotta do your job at the end of the day, regardless of what's going on. And
yeah,
it's like nobody makes excuses for you. Like they understand, but there's no excuses being made for you essentially with our job.
yeah. Absolutely. And I was thinking, like, with the NFL too, it's probably the only sport where you'll see Pro Bowl athletes that might get cut for salary cap purposes. Like baseball, no salary cap. You can theoretically give people as much
Yeah.
money as you want to, but salary cap kind of makes it tough. It's a chess game for GMs
Yeah,
out there.
it's like you can get fired for doing everything right or whenever you become too expensive.
Yeah, and you even use it really, you're really making it seem like a job, because you say get fired. You'll never hear anybody out there on Twitter say get fired. They say get cut. We don't you necessarily take into effect you're getting, yeah, you're getting fired. You're unemployed
Yeah.
at that time. It's
People don't get that because like
yeah,
say they see a guy get cut,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, week 1 of the season or week 2, you got to
yeah,
think that was that man's job. So
yeah,
they seem, oh no, he got a lot of money. You don't get paid during the season. You don't get paid after, like
yeah,
you get paid per game. So if you play one game, you only get paid for one game.
yeah,
Like our
absolutely.
contracts are not
Not a
like
lot of guaranteed
guaranteed.
money. Yeah,
Yeah, ain't nothing guaranteed with our job. So it may be even a big name guy, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? He may sign a huge contract. He only has a certain percent of that fully guaranteed.
yeah,
But if you're not that big name guy, ain't nothing on that contract fully guaranteed. You can work for weeks and don't get paid.
yeah,
Hey, not
absolutely.
even
Yeah,
talking about possible fines that you get during the game. If somebody gets fined 50, $60,000, you're playing for free for a couple weeks.
yeah, that's kind of wild too, and we can talk about that, the no
Yeah.
fun league thing. And I think the NBA or the NFL is kind of, well, how do you view it? Things like player fines for stuff like uniform infractions, for for celebrations, which was the thing for a long time. Like what's your opinion? Because I feel like the NBA does a good job of, with its players, letting them express themselves, have a platform. Do you feel like that's something that's an issue in the NFL?
I feel like the NFL is starting to get it. Like
Yeah,
they treat us as if we're entertainers. So
yeah,
they're trying to let people entertain. Like if that's
yeah,
what's bringing in dollars, whatever's bringing in dollars, that's what they're going for,
yeah, yeah,
essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever's gonna bring in dollars is what they cool with. Before they didn't know that was bringing in dollars. When guys like
Yeah.
Ocho Cinco and Terrell Owens was doing what they was
Yes.
doing, they were
Yeah.
seen as distractions. So they probably got hit with $500,000 in fines
Yeah.
over their whole career. But
Yeah.
now it's okay to do that. Do we reimburse these guys this $500,000 we
Yeah.
fined them or no? And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the answer is no. We not reimbursing nothing. So
Absolutely, and it might be, maybe, and to assume that taking money out of anybody's pocket is okay, no matter how much they make, that's not. I don't think that is okay.
nah,
But for a guy who's like just signed off the practice squad, who's not making anywhere near that much, a fine would mean a lot more to that guy too than maybe it does
yeah,
to Ocho Cinco or whoever. But
most
it's true.
stuff.
Some of the best memories, like I have one of my emotes, the Randy Moss mooning thing. I love that.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I think it's awesome to have entertaining players. Like, why would we not want to see guys having fun? Baseball, let them
Yeah.
bat flip. NBA, let them say what they want to say. Same thing in the NFL. But I know there's people with different opinions on that. Now, one other thing. So with your position group, you got a very stacked depth chart to say the least. You got Derrick Henry in front,
Guys.
who had a really, he dealing with injuries too this year as well. Have you picked up anything like playing with a player like that who's really established himself at the running back position in the NFL?
I would say the main thing from Derek is just like working hard, bro. Like he works as hard as anybody I know. Like
Yeah,
anybody I know. And it's crazy because it's like when I first came in, you know what I'm saying, that we had a couple conversations over the phone, but then like seeing it in person, it was like this dude has like he does not stop.
yeah,
Like literally it will be full out after practice. Yo, D, let's hit the weight room.
yeah,
I'm like, bro, we just had a full padded practice for 2.5 hours in 110
yeah,
degree weather. You trying to go do an extra lift, bro? Come
yeah,
on, come on, come on. Let's go lift, bro. So like little things like that.
yeah,
Over time, I can see why it gradually gets him to where he's at because he
yeah,
puts in that extra time, bro. Like he makes time for it. He
yeah,
makes time for it. Even if we only got an hour to shower, eat, and get to our next meeting,
yeah.
he'll go in there for whether it's 10 to 15 minutes. He gonna get that in so he can. All right, I got this much better today.
Yeah, that's incredible, and that is something that kind of separates. I mean, bottom line in the NFL, everybody's already elite. You're already the top 1% of the 1%, like I said earlier. But you talk about great players in any sport. It's the ones that are putting up jumpers after a game, or the ones that are getting in that extra work that separates the great from the good. So definitely work ethic is huge, and it sounds like something that you're already talking about. Doing sprints out in front of your childhood home, getting ready. You're no stranger to work ethic either. So definitely a good mesh there. Now, as far as goals for next season, like how far along are you on your rehab at this point? Like, how's it been going?
Man, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it, bro. I had to flip, like literally I had to flip my mindset on it. Like,
Mm,
it's a positive. I get to go through this. So, when things shake back to how they supposed to be or how I thought they should be,
yeah.
it'll be a good story at the end of the day.
Yeah. Absolutely. So you're feeling strong going into the 2022 season, and hopefully
Yeah.
you get that welcome to the NFL moment. Well, maybe not in the negative way of you getting rocked by
Nah,
somebody, but you get
nah, I
that
don't want
moment where
that.
you feel like I've arrived. I'm hoping
Yeah.
that the 2022 is when it feels like you really arrived in the league, and people get to see that one moment that you're kind of looking for to turn people's heads and really get people talking.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it will come for you because you're doing things the right way. Now, moving on to your other kind of gig right now that you're doing, where you're kind of building this incredible Twitch channel, achieving partnership on Twitch, and now building a really successful YouTube channel. How did that kind of interest like spark for you?
So for me, like I've been gaming since I was small, bro. Like and then like with Clef being in the gaming scene, he's my older cousin by two
Yeah,
years, my god brother.
yeah,
His little brother is Nightland. He's one of the top Call of Duty players in
wow,
the world. He had like the world record for like kills on Rebirth, and it's like seeing them
crazy.
and thinking like, man, we used to play the game together at our grandmother's house. They used to come
Yeah,
to my house. We play the game all the time. I go to their house, stay the night. I'm like, we do this all the time. And the thing is, like, we're actually good at a lot of games. So like,
yeah,
y'all see Clef as a competitive Madden player. I
yeah,
see Clef as Clef. And the
yeah,
thing is, y'all think, all right, Clef is just this good at Madden. No, Clef was that good at Madden, 2K, Call of
yeah,
Duty, like crazy games. Same thing with his brother. So it's like from talking to them when I was in college, I'm like, should I get into this? Like, you know what I'm saying? They're like, yeah, you
Yeah.
definitely should. Like, you good at the game. Like, you're good at more than just one game to where you
Yeah.
can essentially do it. You know, you got a nice personality. People like it. You know what I'm saying? You like to talk to people. Like, I can see you doing it. So I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
So I used to just stream off my Xbox in college, just messing around, and I had the same like couple people show up.
Yeah.
Um, and then yeah, bro, it kind of became like something I used just as a pastime, bro.
That and when did it like so? When did it kind of blow up for you? Like first of all, it was your account always It's Live? Like even when you were playing in college, same name,
Yeah,
same channel.
every I'm gonna give you a rundown of how I got the
Yeah.
name It's Live. So
Yeah. Yeah. Please, I was gonna
this will
ask.
clear that up. This will clear
Let's
that up.
go.
So when I was in high school, you know, a lot of the older guys would come back and watch like the older people in the area. They'd be like, yo, it looked like we're watching a highlight tape, but like live in person.
Yeah.
So people would call me like It's Live. No, they would call
Yeah.
me Live in HD. Like
Yeah.
everything I used to do was live in high def. Like they were watching a
Yo, I love that.
clear,
Yeah.
highlight tape. So then like once I got to college, my teammates was like, that's too long. We just gonna call you Live. We're
Yeah.
gonna call you Live. So like when I got to college, everybody, yo, Live. I was like, all right, cool. So then I changed it from Live in HD to It's Live, and I
Yeah.
just kept it at that. My jersey number was 3, so I kept 3 E's, and
Yeah. I
that was
like that.
that. Yeah,
That's
that was
awesome,
that.
man. It's a good name. It's hard to find a good name on Twitch. Like I don't even know when I put mine up, it was whatever my MSM name was from way back in the day. But that's actually really good branding. So you lucked into having a really good nickname, and it's worked out nicely for your channel. And when did it kind of start to blow up? Like where you might have gone from having however many viewers you had back in college to where
Yeah.
you're at now, where you were able to achieve partnership.
And yeah, I would say when I was in college, I really didn't stream much. I used to stream maybe like once a month. I really
Yeah.
didn't start streaming until I started like draft prep. I'm like, bro, I work out in the morning for like 4 hours. I got all this time during the day,
Yeah.
so I turn it on, and then I'd have maybe about three to four people. Once I got drafted, I probably have like 7 people in there, the same 7, my
Yeah.
OGs,
Yeah. Yeah.
Robo, Trent,
Yeah.
Kari, um, who else was in there? Rico was in there.
Let's go. Shout out to the
Uh,
OGs.
yeah, all the OGs. You come to my chat, you seen with the number one founders.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, y'all remember when it was just like 5 of us in here?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was like that for like months, bro. Even when I was in the NFL. So like a lot of
Yeah.
people assume like I was in the NFL and I just got partnered on Twitch. No.
Yeah, yeah. You had to
I
grind for it.
literally I grinded like everybody else because it's like, I'm in the NFL, but I'm not in position. Like I play running back
Yeah.
for the Tennessee Titans behind Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't think people really think about that. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm in the NFL. Yeah, I play running back, and I play for the Titans
Yeah.
behind Derrick Henry.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Like,
true.
does everybody know? Like my rookie year, Derrick ran for 2K yards, so it wasn't like the ball was getting handed out to everybody. He ran for
Yeah.
2K yards.
Yeah, yeah. Wasn't a
But
running back by committee for sure. Yeah.
yeah, and then it's like you got to think like with football, we got helmets on. It's not like basketball to where you see their face, or
Yeah.
baseball, you see their face. Track, you see their face. We got helmets on, so yeah,
Yeah.
people may know me from a jersey number standpoint, but they don't know me by
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
So actually, the way I went about my Twitch was I didn't even want people knowing I played football. I just wanted people to just come in there and vibe with me. So a lot
Yeah.
of people never really knew I was in the NFL until maybe a month or so after being in the stream. It's like, wait, you're in the NFL? I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I am.
Well, it's
So
crazy. It's still like I know for a lot of the streams that you pop into, and the fact that every it makes I gotta say it makes everybody feel good to know that there's an NFL player who's got a very busy schedule who's popping into chat. Like it is still kind of a surreal thing, but you're making it like a normal thing because you're just becoming one of the guys in the community, And I wonder like when you were starting out streaming, like how did you market when you were going live? Is that something you're posting on your social media? Like you really make a concerted push? I'm gonna push for partner. Was that a goal that you set for yourself?
I wanted to be partner, but I didn't necessarily do it that way because it's like with the stigma, with all the you're in the NFL, you should be
Yeah.
focused on this. People don't understand. Like, yeah, we're in that building all day.
Yeah.
Like I'm in the building from 5:30 till 5.
Yeah.
That's like almost 12 hours, right?
Yeah. More than normal people work, that's for sure.
So my thing is, if I've been in there for almost 12 hours and then I take 2 hours out of my day
Yeah.
to hop on this game and go live,
Yeah.
What is the issue?
Yeah.
But a lot of people, you should be studying this, you shouldn't be doing that, you should be doing football. Bro, I've been doing football all day. You think I
Yeah.
can't, you think in 12 hours I'm not locked in on football, but people take it as in you're not locked in, bro.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
take it as in you're not
Absolutely.
locked in. But the thing is, what they don't understand is everybody in the NFL plays games. Like I'll be on there with teammates, I'll be on there with other guys on other teams, or you could be doing something foolish, like
Yeah.
partying,
Yeah.
drinking, smoking, doing
Yeah.
whatever, getting in trouble. But
Yeah.
I'm at home.
Yeah,
But
Nashville.
at the same
Nashville's a good
time,
party town too. Like it's not like
yeah,
it's almost along lines with with Vegas. You know, it's like right up there now as one of the big party cities. So definitely temptation
exactly.
down there. Yeah,
Which is crazy, bro. Like people take you gaming, well, people take you streaming, not necessarily
yeah,
gaming. They take you streaming as if you're not focused, you're doing something you shouldn't be doing.
yeah,
When in reality, I could be out on Broadway acting a fool
yeah,
with who
yeah,
knows who doing what. Like, you
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like, so
yeah.
that I really didn't put it out there because at first I really didn't know how
It would be
people would
received.
react.
Yeah,
And then I didn't know how much, what I'm saying, I'd want to get into it until it started popping off. And I was like, dang, like, all right, I might as well keep rocking with it. Like I like what I do. Like, shoot, this helps me relax, forget
yeah,
about everything that was going on to where when I do go back to it, I can refocus and lock in with a level mind versus
yeah.
always being everything just being so tensed up because our job is very stressful.
Oh,
Not even
absolutely.
from the fact of just competing with each other. It's like you never know what's going on. You don't know if you're getting fired tomorrow.
Yeah,
You don't know if you know what I'm saying, you're gonna be able to take care of your wife, your kids, and whoever because you may get fired tomorrow. So like stuff
yeah,
like that is a lot on people, and I don't think the normal
yeah,
average person understands that. So you cope different than other people do. And I feel like streaming and playing video games and talking to other people on here is how
yeah.
I cope and how I, what I'm saying, keep a level head and different things like that. And
For
it
sure.
it works for me.
Yeah,
I've never messed up in practice to where I don't know what's going on in the playbook. I can see if I was like, I'm saying, if I was
yeah,
messing up, I didn't know what the heck was going on. Yeah, cut this out. But when you're not one of those guys who are constantly messing up, it shouldn't be an issue. Like
yeah,
keep it moving because the same thing I'm doing in those 2 hours, you don't know what this person is doing, but
yeah.
you assume they're doing, what I'm saying, football. Why would you assume that, bro?
Yeah, it's true. People, like you said, like they got to see it on social media to know that it's happening, and people feel like like how important is it for you to have a little bit of privacy too? Because like you're very
Yeah.
much you're in the media when you're at your job, and then you're also now kind of a known figure in the streaming content creation community. Like, do you find that it's tough to get like any sort of privacy like in your life? Is it something you value?
Uh,
Like,
Kind of, but not really. I feel like I
yeah,
do a good job because I'm not on the scene. Like I would say, what helps is me being from a small town. Like I don't
yeah,
care for being out on the scene and all that other stuff. Like
yeah,
I feel like personally, I can go to the mall, I can go to a restaurant, I can go to wherever.
yeah,
Nobody will know I'm in NFL. Like
yeah,
I put on regular clothes and I can
yeah,
blend in.
yeah,
But somebody like a Derek who's starring a
yeah.
team, faces on every commercial,
Yeah,
bigger frame guy. Like he's
yeah,
he's very noticeable to where he doesn't have that same, that privacy that I
yeah,
kind of get right now.
yeah,
So yeah, yeah, but no.
yeah. So enjoy while you can, anyways. So once you have that breakout, you might be finding yourself out there and in the public a little bit more even. But you talked about how this is kind of a big part of your mental health is being able to play some video games at night and kind of unwind. Like, how important do you think it is? Like, I mean, any job you got to decompress after work for sure.
Got to.
Does the NFL provide like any resources for
Yeah.
mental health for players and like yeah like
Yeah,
what
they do. They
yeah
do. They got a lot of resources, bro. But it's on players, what I'm
yeah
saying, to actually want to do it. Like they provide us with everything you need, but
yeah
at the end of the day, if we don't want to do something, we're not gonna do it because we don't have to.
yeah absolutely
So it's more so on the player. I would say with the Titans, they do a great job. They got things in play to where they'll tell you, hey man, we got this for you. We want you to try this. We want you to check
yeah
this out if you like it. If you don't like it, cool, but we want you
yeah
to check this out. So that's definitely one cool thing about what I'm saying, the Titans. They have
yeah
people in place for that. Other organizations, I'm not sure, but I'm
yeah
pretty sure that they probably have similar things too.
yeah
Because it's a huge topic right now, bro. Mental health is huge, bro.
for sure
It's huge, and people assume, like I said, like we're in the NFL, but we go through a lot. It's a lot of stress with our
yeah
job. It's a lot of you know what I'm saying, things going on at home, but we got to kind of compartmentalize that while we're doing our job. It's
Yeah.
not like we can go to work and, you know what I'm saying, tell our manager, hey, I'm dealing with this. I
Yeah.
can't come in today. I need some paid time off for this amount of time. We can't do that.
Yeah.
And we
Absolutely.
can't do that. And then the thing is, when guys do that, you know what I'm saying, you see guys like I think Calvin Ridley, man, he did that this year with his
Yeah.
season with his situation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Me as a player, I respect it. I
100%.
understand. You know what I'm saying? I understand 100%. But
Yeah.
then you got guys in the media who are just bashing him. No, you shouldn't do that. You're getting paid this amount, bro. You don't know how much
Yeah.
you're getting paid.
Yeah.
And the thing
Exactly.
is, like, it's not about money, bro. Like, if our job, if us playing in the NFL was all about money,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? That's an issue. But the thing is, people do this because they love what we like. We love what we do. We've been doing this for a while. We get a
Yeah.
passion for it. So the thing is, if somebody's who has a passion for this
Hmm.
decides to take the time to step away from it to make sure they're okay,
Yeah.
that should be a major green light to where, all right, nothing's wrong with this person. He knows, you know what I'm saying, something's
Yeah.
off with him to where he's trying to get it to where he can perform and
Yeah.
enjoy what he does versus something's wrong with him. He shouldn't walk away from this amount of money. He's not walking away
Yeah.
from it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's not walking away from it. He's doing what he needs to do for himself and his family to, you know what I'm saying, make sure his health is okay.
Yeah, and it's a league full of human beings. Like that's the thing. Like you might be looked at as like an entity or like an
Yeah.
asset or a public figure, but it's bottom line. Like we're all human beings. You guys go through the same stuff mentally that the rest of us are going through. Except when we have a bad day at work or if we have something goes on, we're not doing it in front of a televised audience where
Yeah.
there's that all that focus. If you fumble in a football game, you're getting 10,000 comments on social media. Whereas for me, I might just have to have a conversation with my principal at work at the school I work at. So
Yeah.
absolutely, I could see that being a huge strain. Now the Twitch channel is obviously going really well for you. Like I think you were doing a subathon this past weekend as well.
Mm.
But when did you start to kind of decide that you wanted to do YouTube content? Because that's probably one of the most difficult grinds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, YouTube is a grind, bro. Really my guy RBT, he reached out to me, man. I tweeted something about YouTube, how I kind of want to get started, just to see what it's about. He reached out, said he wanted to help,
Yeah.
and then kind of been, talk to him every week. Yeah, he was just telling me, hey, like, it's a lot, but the thing is, like, you're already in it to where you could essentially just keep doing what you're doing and then just post it.
Yeah.
Just find what people are interested in, find different things, ask a lot of questions, and from there, just go about it. And
Yeah.
I feel like YouTube is something to where we're on Twitch a lot, but at the end of the day, I feel like YouTube is the main platform where content is like whatever you put on there is gonna keep growing.
Yeah.
We can get on Twitch and get off and whatever you did for those 2 to 4 to 5 6 hours, however long,
Yeah.
what I'm saying, somebody streams, that's what it is. You
Yeah.
put something on TikTok, yeah, it goes off every now and then, but
Yeah.
everybody from TikTok doesn't essentially go back to your other platforms. And I feel like, the best way to like brand yourself and, what I'm saying, make yourself available is to get on a platform like a YouTube at some point,
Yeah.
pushing content to where, you'll have a lot more people who actually pay attention
Yeah.
to your videos. A lot more people are giving you engagement feedback right then and there to where you can, what I'm saying, essentially make stuff people like. And you never know who it's going to reach, bro. YouTube has been around since we were growing up,
Yeah.
and it's not going nowhere.
Yeah. Man, you want to hear how old I feel? The thing that makes me feel the oldest is that I just realized that YouTube didn't come around till I was my first year of college. I was out of high school. I literally
Sheesh.
went through high school without YouTube, and I can't imagine. I was like, where did I find all these funny videos from back in the day? Like I had to go on random
Yeah,
sites. So
yeah,
that's my little side thought there. But yeah, like YouTube definitely does have a wide audience. How do you feel like do you feel like your YouTube audience is completely different than your Twitch audience? Is there a lot of crossover? Is it like a younger audience maybe?
yeah. I would say my YouTube audience is for right now is kind of split. I really haven't tried to blend the two as much. When I'm on
Yeah.
Twitch, I definitely promote my YouTube
Yeah.
videos, but I typically leave my Twitch in the description. I don't necessarily promote it as much.
Yeah.
I probably should, but I really
Yeah.
don't because the thing is, I want to get established on there first to where, maybe you're getting a couple thousand every video,
Yeah.
to where, all right, now I got enough people to where these analytics to tell me what people do like and don't like versus right now
Yeah.
I'm still kind of figuring it out to where I don't really know what people like and don't like. So I don't want to just, you know what I'm saying, treat it as if I'm doing everything right when I'm probably not.
Yeah, that's true. That like taking a dive into the numbers, like that's something that can be overwhelming at times. Like hopefully you find people along the way that can kind of tell you what these numbers mean because I've looked at some of it and it can be overwhelming at times. But
Yeah.
obviously the growth is showing that you're doing something right at this point because your channel's popping right now. And what kind of direction do you see your content going in? Like how did you start out? Like your first few videos, what kind of content were you putting on YouTube?
So I think my first few videos, I did some shorts. I did me playing AJ Brown and Madden. We actually gotta run
Yeah,
that back. I
yeah,
gotta call him. Tell him we gotta run that back.
yeah,
He beat me the first two times we played. I beat him the third time, but
yeah.
we gonna have to get that
Yeah, best
series
of
back
five. Yeah,
even.
absolutely. Yeah,
Um so yeah, I was really dropping that. And then I was in the COD heavy, bro. I was in the
yeah,
COD heavy when I first started even Twitch. I was in the COD heavy.
yeah,
But then I dropped a few of those on there and I'm like, ah.
yeah,
But I feel like Madden, the community of Madden has been so welcoming, bro, and so
yeah,
like genuine with everything to where I was like, all right, I wanna post Madden content because I
yeah,
know like when I'm on Twitch, bro, like everybody shows love. It's not like always, you know, Derek. It's not always Tannehill. It's
yeah,
not always Julio. It's not always
yeah,
AJ. It's, you know, D. How's your
yeah,
day going? You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
Checking in with me. You know what I'm saying? Nothing against my guys, but you know what I'm saying? It's not about my job when I'm on Madden. It's more so
yeah,
about, you know what I'm saying, me as a person. So I feel like, all right, if that's how it is on Twitch, I want to tap into that community on YouTube,
yeah,
see if it's the same. And, you know, it's definitely starting. It's picking up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know
yeah,
how fast it's supposed to grow. I don't know if I'm at a fast rate or a slow rate, but at the same time, I just know I'm moving. So
yeah.
I'm okay with that. And I'm thankful for that.
Absolutely, and you know, you talk about kind of the community here in the Madden community, and it is different from like the Call of Duty community where you might see guys with 30,000 people in their chat and they can't reach out. You know, like there's a difference between those crazy high view guys and the Madden community is much smaller number wise, but at the same time, one of the benefits you can get to know everybody pretty easily. I feel like you probably would
Everybody
know.
knows everybody,
Yeah,
bro.
everybody knows everybody, so it's great when you're starting out too. Well, one thing I think that really endeared you to the Madden community, and I'll bring it up, not to create any beef here or anything, but there was the tweet. I think it was a tweet from Devin Bush, and you kind of commented on that, and the
Oh yeah,
the Madden community kind of rallied around you like crazy. Like that was when I think a lot of things took off.
yeah,
Um, so I think the nature of you were saying that to build a channel that's maybe only getting 30, 40 views, it's not easy on Twitch.
yeah.
Did you were saying as much that you found that in your own experience? Like, how hard do you think it is to build your own community on Twitch?
It's tough, bro. It's one of the apps to where I think when looking at the numbers, if you average over 15 to 20 viewers, you're
Yeah,
in the top like 2% on
yeah,
Twitch.
yeah,
And when you think about, a lot of people think 15 to 25 viewers is not a lot. I'm like, bro, that's a lot of people, bro. Like
yeah,
percentage wise, like,
yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? If you look at the analytics, that's a lot of people. But then I feel like what the problem is on Twitch is we get caught up in numbers and comparisons to where it kind of takes away the fun.
yeah,
Which is where I had to tell a lot of my guys, like, yeah, once I got partnered and stuff, they thought, oh, bro, like you made, like, yeah, I
yeah,
got
yeah,
partnered, but it's like after getting partnered, it was like nothing else to work for. To work for
yeah,
like a moment in time, I was like, bro, what do I want to do now? Like, there's
yeah,
no goal. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? And then it's like, before it was all right, let's get a 75 average, and so
yeah,
people are there to help. Yeah, people are helping. But then
yeah,
once you that 75 average, like people say, oh, he made it. So literally,
yeah,
once I got partnered, my viewership dropped right back down to like
yeah,
20.
yeah,
I'm like, dang, bro, I'm partnered and my viewers are at 20. So I was like
yeah,
stuck, like confused. So
yeah,
then from there, I was like, man, I just want to do whatever people want to see, make sure my content is lit. And then from there, it kind of just started picking back up
yeah.
slowly, slowly.
100%. Yeah, that's and the funny thing is, I actually did another episode of Around the Gjallarhorn just yesterday with CJ Sauce, and
Hmm.
he was saying the exact same thing. He said,
Yeah.
for his partner push, things were going wild, and then it's true, like the support. Maybe the guys who were just opening up a tab to help you get that average viewer, it dipped down afterwards, and stuff sometimes mentally or to deal with it. But he said the exact same thing that you said, that the quality of the content kind of becomes your new passion. Like I find the same thing. Like it can become obsessive looking at the viewer count, and I've
Hmm.
blocked it off now. And nobody's a good streamer when they're just checking the numbers go up and down and trying to react to it in real time. So Seeing you put out, exciting content on YouTube and grow, with TikTok and grow with, I think you're going about it a really good way. And your content has definitely, you've gone from being a guy who, like you said, did it as a hobby, which a lot of people on Twitch are, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you've made it into a viable, sustainable thing. Like, so going forward, like what kind of goals do you have long term for content creation? 5 years down the road, where do you hope to see yourself?
I would say I don't want to put a timeline on it.
Yeah.
But definitely down the road, bro, I can see like this being like the next thing after football.
Yeah.
I can see it being the next thing after football, and probably in a bigger fashion. Like I got some things I'm working on now.
Yeah.
Can't really speak on them, but yeah, I got some things I'm working on now with some people. But I definitely want to help the Madden community first. Out of everything, I want to help the Madden community. I would say like my main goal, like once I started playing Madden, was just like to be a voice.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of people, what I'm saying, tweeting at EA about a lot of issues that we see with the game, and everybody's, they never listen. Like I want to be able to rally up enough guys, maybe in the NFL.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That can voice their opinion to EA to get these changes we need made. So that's kind of one of my goals, is like, all right, if we get this thing big enough and popping enough, maybe I can continue to network with the rest of these guys in the NFL. And like, hey, bro, we need your help, not they need your help. We need your help because we're all, playing this game. So I'm like, hey, we need your help. I feel like you'll enjoy what we're doing. And a lot of the guys, bro, they've been checking it out, bro. And they're like, bro, I love what you do, man. Like, how can I get into it? So it's like the conversation is there with a lot of the guys in the league. Yeah. And now it's just a matter of them doing it or not doing it. So it's like if we get enough of guys in the league to help be that voice in the community, we'll see a lot of changes. Kind of like how, 2K, they get a lot of guys in the NBA that play 2K and be like, hey, I don't like this, or I don't like that, or I do like this. And you know what I'm saying? They get some changes made, not all, but they get majority of the changes made at least within the next year or two. Yeah. And maybe not right then, but at least within 2 years, whatever they said is 9 times out of 10 corrected.
Yeah, I like that. So potential NFL community ambassadors coming in and working with EA, I would love to see that. I think the community would love to see that. We're grateful. I'll speak on behalf of everyone in the chat. I think we're grateful that you would use your platform and to kind of voice those concerns and put out basically a better quality game, which I think everybody wants anyways. It's good for the company. Yeah. It's good for the guys who play it. And as far as future goals for the NFL, like what is, what are you hoping to get out of this NFL experience if you had to project a little bit?
I would say for next year, I definitely want to go Pro Bowl. That was my goal this year. I wanted to go Pro Bowl. Yeah. Understanding our team and how things are ran, it's a little different. So, it may not be for running back. It could be for special teams. I just wanted to, what I'm saying, maybe be a Pro Bowl returner. So I feel like, setting goals that are doable is definitely something I try to do. And I feel like that's something that's doable, just be one of those guys, whether it's returning kicks. Yeah. Since I do that, it could be running down on punts. It could be running down on kickoff. Like, however I got to do it, I'm going to try and do it. You know what I'm saying? Be a Pro Bowler. And then, at the end goal, try and win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And well, speaking of Super Bowl, any predictions here? We got a game coming up in about 2 weeks here, February 13th, I believe, right before Valentine's Day. Do you care to make a prediction? Bengals or Rams? Who are you going for?
I'm going for the Bengals. I got two guys. I got two guys on the Bengals, man. I got two of them. I can't go against my guys. Of course. I got one guy on the Rams though. Yeah. So either way it go, I'm cool with it because one of my guys is gonna get a ring. Yeah. But I do got two on the Bengals. So 2 outweighs one. I'm gonna have to rock with the Bengals.
Let's go, guys. Bengals. That's a popular opinion. I see people in the chat are impressed with that. We got a lot of bandwagon Bengals fans after. I mean, this point in the season, there's only so many teams left. You gotta pick one side or the other. But man, I think honestly, I feel like we got a great kind of look at you from your humble beginnings in a small town to making it on at App State to winning Player of the Year, becoming an NFL player, and grinding through this rehab and working towards getting a chance to kind of make a difference for the Titans next year. Man, Darrynton, I appreciate you giving your time here. We've been talking for about an hour right now, man. Incredible interview. I really appreciate you for doing this and for taking the time, man. It means a lot.
Most that, bro. I appreciate it.